again, folks. Welcome to another The Owl House video. Today, I'm going to focus on top 5 hated Owl House characters. Characters that are so aggravating or so annoying that I just want to, or in some cases, the majority of the fandom would want to squeeze the living daylights out of them. Bear in mind, some of these are my personal opinions, and you don't always have to agree with them. Let's begin. I know many of you do not like Hooty for more reasons than one. Usually he's just very high-pitched voiced and super whiny, and plus the way he handles things and gets straight up at your face can get pretty aggravating and uncomfortable. Heck, to make matters worse, he can make you super grossed out just by simply throwing up books and such. However, the one thing that makes up for all that is his capability of fighting. Heck, if many of you remembered Agony of a Witch, he really nailed those elite guards as well as Lilith and handed their butts on a platter. Now, the other number 5 is Tibbles. This bastard. So with Tibbles, he's basically a money hustler who tried to expose Ida to the Emperor or the Cavormatorium in Hooty's weekly hassle, and then of course try to endanger King, Willow, Luz, and Gus in this little carnival scam. So yeah, he is super annoying and seems to like nothing more than to squeeze pennies out of people whenever possible. I put him number 5 as well because he's just a total loser. He just never learns his lesson, as well as just cries whenever he loses money. Ida does too, but she handles it better than he does. After Agony of a Witch, I would not put it past me that she would be on this list. Lilith has been very cold and calculating for the majority of the series, seemed pretty obsessed of trying to bring her sister into the Emperor to heal her. And plus, to make matters worse, she played dirty in the second half of the Agony of a Witch, and also we soon learned about Ida cursing Lilith, which was inexcusable. But at the end of the day, and the reason why I put her in number 4 is because she shared her curse, the curse that she put on Ida, together so they wouldn't have to suffer it alone, which is why it seems like she has some redeemable qualities. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there was one Hexside student I was considering putting on this list, but Basha here outshined him in more ways than one. Basically, she's a three-eyed twit that is a resemblance of Regina George. Not above making adults cry, not above picking on others lower than herself, just to maintain her self-esteem. Thankfully though, Willow, Luz, and Gus, along with Amity, have managed to put her in her place. Not completely, but again, I put her number 3 is because she only is just a major bully and annoyance, and someone that you can't help find super petty. These two are going to be a pain in the butt to talk about. So, the Blight parents. After understanding Willow, they really skyrocketed in the hated parents category. I don't know too many despicable parents in the media, but these are a pretty good example. They basically manipulated and have low regards to Amity's feelings and viewed Willow as a weakling, thus manipulating Amity to break off her friendship, otherwise risk having Willow kicked out of Hexside. This abuse fed up over time, making Amity struggle with her own feelings and trying to gain confidence in her abilities without her parents practically looming over her like vicious vultures to no end. I swear, by the end of that episode, I was really ticked off of what they did. I mean, what sort of parents would do that to their child? This was a fine example of emotional and mental abuse in a Disney franchise. Some redeemable qualities in Principal Bum, but I put him in the honorary mentions because there are just some things that I don't quite like about him. Usually it's because he puts finances before his own students. It's not that he's completely heartless, it's just it seems that his priorities seem to be overclouded. He seems focused on money, as well as what bothered me the most was in the first day, he practically put Luz in detention for holding an orb and put the rest of the delinquent kids in there because they were just mixing magic. I mean, geez, dude, do you even see any possibilities of mixing magic? And then there's Luz Necedah. I know some of you might hate me for putting her on here. I may not find any reason why, but think about how she's handling the situation in the beginning of a series. She sends her only daughter to a camp where you'd have to basically learn how to do mortgages and all that stuff. I understand that she's trying to do what's best for her daughter, but yet at the same time, it just feels like she's just forcing Luz to be more normal. And I get it, it sucks that you'd always have to hear people having issues with your kid, but at the same time, Luz is suffering self-esteem. And I even didn't like the fact that she didn't recognize something was wrong with the letters. Out of all the hated characters in the Owl House so far, this guy particularly skyrocketed even after just 2 episodes. Why? Well, we've had some world building that gave us a big idea of what the kind of guy he really is. So the Emperor's Coven was focusing on maintaining magic through the Coven systems, which we all know is not the best option for a lot of people. Enter Emperor Belos. Basically, he is a manipulative mastermind who's not above playing dirty to get what he wants, even manipulating the residents of the Boiling Isles just to make sure he keeps them in line. Of course, he probably does something close to a genocide of wild witches and doesn't approve of wild magic. To make matters worse, he was practically a liar and a manipulator by using Lilith at her own game, wanting to bring Eda over just so he could steal a portal key, as well as try to get rid of Eda once and for all because I think he kind of views her as a threat on certain levels. And plus, I can't help but shiver and cringe at the fact of what he's planning to do when he gets over to the human world. Whatever he's planning, it's not going to be good. I just hope Luz and the rest of the crew can stop him in time before things get any worse. And that's why I put him number 1 because of his cruelty. So folks, that's it for me. I am officially done with this list, and thankfully it was a short one compared to my top 10 hated characters list. Please stay tuned for for another video I'm planning to do for the Owl House, as well as for any other videos you may want to see. So do a like, subscribe, and comment. This is Dragon Videos signing off.